Hey you guys, welcome to Consume the Goodness. I'm Kendra. I'm a certified lifestyle and weight management specialist with experience working in endocrinology, arthritis, weight loss, and mental health offices. This channel is all about living well, and it's all about living well coming from a person with real life experience and trying to and working on balancing a healthy lifestyle with also the real life challenges that we all face every day. I myself have been diagnosed with neurocardiogenic syncope, inappropriate sinus tachycardia, POTS, post-concussion syndrome, fibromyalgia, and a few other things, but also homeschooling 4 kids, being a business owner, a child who requires special care, homeschooling. Yeah, homeschooling 4 kids, that in itself is quite a job. And then just everything else that life throws our way. So I want to help you in a realistic way, help you balance health and life. And that is what my goal is to do here, is to help everyone consume the goodness physically and mentally and spiritually in real life ways. And that's what I want to do here. So I hope that I'm able to do that. I love God, I love health, I love combining the two, and I love helping people, which is what I hope to do here. So today's video is all about nutritional building blocks. Before I get into this, I want to just throw out there, recommend talking to your primary care physician. It's always good to consult with your doctor before you make any changes to the way that you eat or exercising, especially if you have a pre-existing condition. So talking to your doctor, your primary care physician, but even your any specialists that you might be seeing. So if you have diabetes or if you have arthritis or anything, making sure that you talk to your doctors before you make any eating and exercise changes, just in case anything might need to be modified for your specific needs. That's very important to do. And then also I want to remind you guys to go back and watch any of my other videos or any videos that you might have missed. And I recommend doing that because I talk a lot about, this channel is a lot about healthy living, and I don't only talk about food and exercise though, because there is so much more to living a healthy lifestyle than just how we eat and how we move. And I talk about those things in videos that I've previously made, and I will talk about a lot of that stuff in the other videos that I make. I will talk about the food that we eat and exercising and drinking water and all that good stuff. But I also talk about the really important parts that play a role in a healthy lifestyle, like stress and time management and the importance of having a support system, making sure we are in it mentally, and that we're really in it. So it's a lot more than just eating and exercising. So I do recommend going back to watch any of the other ones that talk about the other important parts of living a healthy lifestyle. So living a healthy lifestyle is a balanced one that includes these nutritional building blocks. It helps decrease the risk of disease. It helps give you more energy and helps with living a longer life. And well, okay, the living a longer life, obviously I know that things can happen and we can go, but I'm talking about more in terms of our, how we care for ourselves. It's like a car. If we can have an old car that runs beautifully, and then a newer car that runs like crap and makes weird noises when we drive it, because the older one might be really old, but it was taken care of, it was maintained properly, it was cared for in the right way. And the newer one wasn't cared for at all or maintained, so that's why it's crap. Now, does that mean that the one that runs really well can it be like totaled because somebody smashed into it? Yes. But as far as the long life part goes, I'm talking about in terms of caring for ourselves, not so much the being totaled because somebody crashed into us part. So just to keep that in mind, it does help with a longer life though. And I'm not here, I think I've said this in another video, but I'm definitely not here to say don't eat these certain foods or only eat this, don't eat that, cut this totally out. I am not about that. That's not how I've ever coached. And I'm not going to do that here either, because I don't think that we should be cutting a bunch of stuff completely out. I don't think that that's realistic. And I have found in my experience that people they are more likely to stay on a healthy track when they don't feel deprived of something. So I'm not here to say that. I just want to point out the benefits of eating in a healthy way and point out how these, at least in this video, how these nutritional building blocks help our bodies, how we benefit from them. And then you choose, you make the decision. I have found that telling people don't do something, it just makes them want to do it even more. One of the weight loss clinics I worked at before I started doing the lifestyle and weight management, when it was just weight loss, part of that program was completely cutting carbs out for the first half of the program. And a lot of people struggled with that. They wanted them so badly, but even after they stopped eating them for a while, and they're like, okay, I feel like I'm getting used to this maybe, they would still talk about how they feel weak and really tired, and like, I know I'm supposed to be exercising, but I feel I feel nauseous and shaky, and I don't feel like I can do this. And so cutting out food groups, cutting out carbs, it was a difficult thing, and their bodies weren't getting the energy that they need. So when I talk about these nutritional building blocks, these macronutrients, they are essential nutrients. And when I say essential nutrients, what makes them essential is that our bodies don't naturally synthesize these nutrients, so we need to eat them for our bodies to process. So the three nutritional building blocks are carbohydrates, fats, and protein. So the first one I want to talk about is the carbs, because those seem to just really have a bad name and be looked at as like the bad guy of all foods, especially if you're trying to lose weight. So many people are like, cut out all the carbs, that's gonna, and you will lose weight. You will likely lose a lot of water weight. And there's a good chance, I know some people cut out their carbs and they just don't ever eat carbs. They might, and they're just not thinking about it, like in some of the fruit that they eat. But our bodies, when people are trying to lose weight, you can lose a whole lot of weight by cutting out carbohydrates, but it usually does not last as long, and you don't feel good. You don't feel as energetic. And I know that some people will say, no, I cut carbs out and I feel awesome. It doesn't change, though, the fact that complex carbohydrates do benefit our bodies in a lot of different ways. So that's what I want to talk about here, because it is one of the nutritional building blocks. It's one of the things that our bodies, that we need, because our body doesn't get it on its own. Sorry. So the main purpose for these complex carbohydrates, why it's just in a simple term, it's our main source of energy. The two main purposes, the two main importance, I guess, points of importance for carbohydrates is that they provide glucose for brain function, and then they provide energy for our working muscles, all of our working muscles. when we're breathing, the energy that our bodies get from the carbohydrates helps with all of our moving muscles. It's our main source of energy, and then also providing the glucose for our brain function. So, and of course, I found a way. I think of ways all the time how I can connect healthy living with God. And when I thought about carbs, I was thinking about, okay, source of energy. That we can let's see, just speaking about God, speaking God's word out loud, it can give you a good boost, a good energy, and a good feel. And I will, of course, have Bible verses at the end of the video that has connections with that. But anyway, so also carbohydrates, when we do this, so like I was saying about the weight loss clinic that I worked at, some of those people, they did really well, but then when they stopped doing it, when they stopped coming, we wouldn't see them for a while. Then they come back and they were even heavier than when they started before, because they started eating carbs again, and they would like go overboard with it because they didn't have it. And then it was like, screw this, I want to eat all the carbs I can. And then they're just like eating it all up. And then it's too much, and that's not a good thing. So when we eat our complex carbohydrates in a balanced way, we are able to maintain our healthy lifestyle, maintain a healthy weight for a lot longer, for our lifespan, which is what the goal is here, is to do that, be healthy for your whole life, not just have a short period of time where you lost a bunch of weight or whatever your goal may be. But also the complex carbohydrates important for heart health. The fiber in the complex carbs, they help regulate our blood sugars, help us feel fuller longer, so that can help with preventing overeating. So it just needs to be in a balanced way and be chosen wisely. So when I'm talking about complex carbs, I'm talking about like fresh fruits and vegetables, or like whole grains like brown rice, or beans, or like those types of carbohydrates that have a high nutritional value. Simple carbs, on the other hand, are not so good. Those would be like cakes and cookies and pie and candy. So if you were wanting to be more wise about your carbs, instead of just cutting them completely out, instead of a bunch of candy, instead of a handful of cookies, eat an apple. That would be a good swap for that, for your carbohydrates, because your body's getting what it needs from those carbs, but it's not the simple carbs that are bad for you, like candy or cookies. Another I'll talk about, let's see, fats or proteins. We'll do fats. Let's go with fats next for the next building block, nutritional building block. Fats are also something to just really be mindful of when you're choosing. Just like with carbs, you want to have more complex carbs and not so much like very limited simple carbs. And really, I mean, really when I think about it, that's what it's like with all of our foods. We need to be wise. We need to have like the leaner meats, the leanest that we're able to get, and more complex carbs. And then with fats, you want to have the more unsaturated fats, still not huge amounts of it. So the reason why fats are one of the three nutritional building blocks is because it also is a source of energy, not as much as the carbohydrates, but it is a source of energy, but also provides insulin for our bodies. So and for the fats, I thought of like reading the Bible, reading God's word, because that can be that can give us a good energy boost too, just like an energy source, like I said, with speaking God's word, but also comfort. Where fat provides insulin for our bodies, which is warmth and comfort, we can absolutely get that from reading God's word. So that's why I put that one in there. Excuse me. So let's see. When you're choosing fats, you definitely want to focus on the quality, have more of the unsaturated, the healthier fats. And I'm trying to think of some examples. If you wanted to get some healthy fats, then maybe eating like almonds and a low-fat yogurt, or a tablespoon of a tablespoon of like coconut oil when you're cooking. So a way to get the unsaturated fats without having too much. If we have too much fats, even the good ones, it will be too much, and we don't want that. We want those fats to be like weighing us down. So there's the fats, and then the third one is protein. And proteins, oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Proteins, a lot of people connect eating protein with building muscle, and it's not eating, come here, puppy. It's not the eating protein that builds our muscle. Exercise is what builds our muscles. The stimulation of working out, that is where our muscles are being built. When we work out, our muscle tissue breaks down, and then when we eat protein, it helps to restore that. It helps to repair the broken down muscle. So that is what proteins do. And I thought about that for like prayer, because like let's say that the breaking down of our muscles would be like going through a challenge, and then eating protein to restore those muscles, the tears in the tissue would be, praying would be like the protein to, calling out to God, praying for, just praying it with a thankful heart, coming to him with a thankful heart, and prayer in a challenging time, although we should be praying all the time, not only when we're going through challenging times. But in terms of this one, where it matches up, challenges, torn muscle tissue, or and then prayers and restoring like our faith, rebuilding that faith up that we might kind of feel is worn out during a hard time. So that's why I did that one. And of course I'll have Bible verses at the end for all this stuff. So that is basically protein. It does not build muscle. It is a recovery. It's important in the recovery and the repair process after muscle tissue is broken down. And like when we're working out. So having good protein sources would be, like I said earlier, something lean. So you don't want to have like the fattiest version of any type of meat. Try to get the leanest type of meat, but turkey, chicken, a steak, fish, eggs, those are good sources of protein that will help, restore those broken down tissues in your muscle after a workout. So you definitely want to make sure that you have protein every day, but you really want to have protein after a workout. So those are the 3 nutritional building blocks that I wanted to talk about. And in the videos to come, I'll be talking more about the food that we eat. I know in the previous ones I've been talking mostly about the mental part, kind of like preparing for it a little bit, making sure we're ready for a healthy lifestyle and knowing that what comes with it. So in the next few videos, I'll probably be talking more about the food part of it, and then following that, I'll talk more about the like mental part of it again, and then mixing the two as I go on. But so the next videos will probably be about like what foods to get when we're shopping, how to cook them, the best types of foods. So like when it comes to carbs and fats and proteins, the best types, and then also how much of it to eat. That way, just, trying to keep you more informed about how to do that. So I am not going to do that in this video, like talking about how much to eat of these things, because I don't want the videos to be too terribly long. So I just wanted to at least give like the base for why these 3 nutritional building blocks, why they're important. And I don't know if I already said this, but I will very likely do a video just strictly on carbs, talking about the benefits of them, and then also going over like the misconceptions that people have when it comes to carbohydrates. And I might bother people with that. I know that's like a really touchy area, but I'm still going to do it. I'll put the information out there. So if you guys have any questions or comments, any kind of feedback at all, please leave those in the comments. If you would prefer not to leave a comment, you can email me at consumethegoodness@gmail.com. And that is it for today. So God bless, and I hope to have you guys back on the next one.